Good afternoon. The Village of Lincoln Heights Committee of the Whole is now in session. Today's date is May 24th, 2021. The time is 6:32. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson. No response. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell. Okay, no response from Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell. Mayor, we do have 5 who are present, 2 who are not here, and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay. So this afternoon during the Committee of the Whole, we have a speaker, Ms. Gina Bradley of United Way, a Black Empowerment Works Program launch. How are you?
Hi, I'm actually Terry.
Well, you're Terry.
Yes.
So you're coming in for, okay, you're coming in for Gina?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, are you in need to use a PowerPoint? I should have asked that.
You know what?
Or are you just going to be speaking?
I'm just going to be speaking, and then I'm going to send you all the information so that you have it, so you can distribute it as you see fit. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, I want to introduce myself. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mayor.
Oh, the floor is yours.
My name is Terry Hurdle. Okay, let me do what my elders say, Dr. Terry Hurdle. I have to get used to saying that. I actually don't live far from you. I live in Springdale. I've raised my 2 cousins who lost their parents, so that's why I'm out this way. But I'm here before you for United Way. I used to be a member of Champions of Change, which was a pilot program last year with the United Way. And Champions was responsible for the program I'm going to talk about today, Black Empowerment Works. And the whole goal of Black Empowerment Works is to promote Black self-determination, social mobility, and economic prosperity by resourcing and funding grassroots community-based organizations. These are Black-led ideas, programs, and projects. So our goal is to promote positive outcomes in the greater Cincinnati region and outskirts in the Tri-County, I'll say in the tri-state area, invest in promising ideas and leaders. What we all know is that usually grassroots organizations are left out of the funding process because people think that, okay, well, because they don't have these mechanisms or quote unquote traditional mechanisms of whether it's assessment, whether it is having connections to certain places, they're often left out. So this grant was particularly and strategically developed to create a pathway for Black grassroots organizations. The type of things that we fund and we found work that builds strong financial foundations. We work anything that works with financial literacy, childcare, academic and social emotional skill building. I'll use, for example, we have Black Men Mentoring, and we have Larry Hodge, who both of these have tutoring programs that goes within the schools, and they work with students to make sure that they are, being able to have the opportunity and resources to be on the same academic level so that they can compete. And so, and we've seen improvement in the schools that they've been in and the students that they work with. We also do career preparation, post-secondary education and training, filling the gap with Dr. Zaria Davis. Her program was actually funded in which she has worked with women who were once in the criminal system. They're coming out, and she's giving them opportunities. There's young women who are either in school or interested in going to college or university, whether 2-4 year, and some actually are going for their doctorate. And so that program provides resources for them, whether it be webinars, trainings, etc. So those are the types of things that we funded when we started this program in 2019, excuse me. funding ranges for the grant is from $2,500 to $25,000. And the deadline to actually submit is July 8th at 11:59 p.m. So that's for the grant. Now, for those who may not be interested in submitting a grant or don't feel comfortable, we also have the role of reviewers. And so one of the goals of this Black Empowerment Grant, in addition to funding Black-led ideas, is having the community select these individuals who will benefit from the program. And so the reviewers are individuals from the community, whether they're educators, whether they're activists, whatever role they have in the community, college graduates, high school graduates, et cetera, these people become reviewers. And the deadline for that is June 18th. And so with that. And so a few things, the general rule with, just to wrap up with Black Empowerment Works, again, community members make the investment decisions. And I want to say that again, community members make the investment decisions. Thus, we have the reviewers with this. And for those who want to be reviewers, this usually will take place you'll be involved with us from June 24th to August 27th. So that's the process with it. You'll go through some trainings and all those different types of things. So if you don't feel like that you feel comfortable being reviewed, we do supply training and resources for you. And again, that's June 18th at 5 p.m. For additional information in regards to all of this, I'm going to send you this little cheat sheet I have here as well, but we also have everything on the website, which is www.unitedway-greatercincinnati.org, BEW apply, and that's the program. Any questions for me after that overview?
Ms. Childs Jeter.
Yes, Councilwoman Childs Jeter, thank you. I'm like Doctor up here, you can recognize that just for her today. You can go back.
Councilwoman Childs Jeter.
Thank you for bringing this forward to us. I'm not sure that I understand it all, but
Okay.
I want to send a message to Dr. Davis. I'm wondering what she was into now. Since she left LHOI, a great person to work with. So just tell her that Councilwoman Childs Jeter said hello and call me sometime.
I will tell her that. Zaria and I are really good friends. So I will, outside of the program, so I will let her know that.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just real quick, the information for the grant as far as when you will award, what things you will fund, those type of things, is that also available on the website as well? Or
Yes, ma'am. It all is. And one of the things that we do, and we were intentional with this as champions, we make sure that we are communicating with you throughout the process. So whether it's with emails, with check-ins, you will always know at what stage of the process that you will be in. But beginning information is on the website that I shared.
Gotcha. And Madam Mayor, one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. How many awardees are you looking to fund?
Last year, United Way funded over $600,000 in organizations. And I think that was roughly between 25 and 30. And I'm calling that off the top of my head. And we actually received for the first year, a significant number, I think around about 75 applications that made it through. And so we fund a significant portion of them. The main thing that we just tell individuals is to make sure that your idea is clear. And what we try to do some of the resources when you call in and maybe you have questions as you're completing the application, to make sure you understand how to champion your cause and making it clear how your idea is going to really be able to begin the transformation in your community.
Gotcha. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay. Dr. Hurdle, I did have a question for you. You mentioned regarding the reviewers.
Yes.
And the date being June 18th how many weeks of that?
How many
Is it
weeks?
like once a week or?
Usually, I can give you, because I'm working on the training now. And so we have 1 week where you'll probably have one day that's dedicated to training where you're working with your group. And as we're still coming out of the virtual world right now, we're staying within the virtual world because as people are becoming more comfortable interacting. So that may be one day. And then the next part of it is a self-guided training that you have to have completed by a designated time. So I will say maybe let's say 4 to 5 hours weekly. And I may be overestimating a little bit, but 4 to 5 hours, because in addition to you going to the training, you also meet with your group. You're within a group that makes the decisions. So you meet with them as well. And so, so you have that, and we'll do a meet and greet if you are selected June 25th, where I review a lot of different things and we just get you started. And so it can be timely, but it's not as timely as you may think, because we try to break it out to make sure, because we give you time to review the applications, then to come back together with your group. And you all actually do interview the grantees. If you are a reviewer, you interview the grantees. And so we have time set aside for that as well. And what I also do, Mayor, is send you the PowerPoint that has that we did on the, and we did a Facebook Live. If you go to our Facebook Live at United Way, Greater Cincinnati, you'll see the presentation that we did. I'll email you that presentation as well tomorrow morning when I get to the office.
Did the mayor disappear?
I think she froze a little bit, because I thought it was me at first, and then I saw the rest of you move. I think her internet just froze on her a little bit, and we know how that goes at this time of the day.
Amen.
I already know. Yeah,
I don't
she's
see the mayor's
frozen.
name anywhere.
Yeah, it probably dropped her out, and she is trying to reboot to come back in. That's probably
Must have been something you said.
I know, it could have been. I'm sorry.
Good job, good job.
She's going to apply for those grants. No, I'm just kidding.
But if there's anything else, please just reach out to me. Janae, who is the senior manager, I'm working with her for the summer to assist with the project as a former champion. And so any questions, please, you can reach out to me, just Terry Hurdle at the email that I stated. In fact, let me see. I'll just make sure I email everything between tonight. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I heard something.
I was just gonna say, can you put it in the chat? But
I couldn't find the chat button. That's why I didn't.
and that's what I'm looking. I don't see it.
They don't always put the chat in there for different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been to several ones where the chat was not available because they don't want you to chat.
So while we're waiting on the mayor, can you give me your email again?
Yes, ma'am. Let me pull, I'm gonna give you that United Way email. It is, hold on. I'm sorry, that was the website. I'm gonna pull that up on my end.
Who is that?
Okay. So our email address, I'm gonna give you our phone number and email. So it's blacklead, BLACK -lead, LED black-led@uwgc.org. Again, black-led at uwgc.org. And our phone number is 513-762-7118. Again, 513-762-7118.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I won't hold you because I know you all have business. I actually drive to Lincoln Heights and everything. And I know what LHOI is, and I've donated things there, and actually worked with Lincoln Heights Elementary, donating some things there still. So I know you all are doing good things, and I root for you all the time. So keep
Well,
it up.
thank you. And also look for that Black Walk of Fame. Look for it out there in the atmosphere and see if you can do something with it.
I sure will. I sure will.
We have a lot of people from Lincoln Heights that are musicians and poets and been involved in some Hollywood experiences. So we need to be recognized.
Oh, extremely so. I think when I was watching Versus with the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire, I thought about that. And you just think about just the history that's within this area, and particularly Lincoln Heights. So I recognize and know for sure. I'm a historian, so I appreciate and understand.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know the richness of this village.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I always say, until the lion is able to tell their story, the hunter will always be the one story that's exalted. So I get it. I understand.
Oh, I like that, and I'm sure Councilwoman Mitchell called it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we may not have the mayor back for the day.
Okay, well, I know you all will continue. Please, you all have been great. And also, if you need me for anything to volunteer, I'm also willing to volunteer in the community as well, because I'm not far from you at all. So I would love to support and help.
Thank you.
All right.
You are more than welcome. You all be blessed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Anybody get a hold of the mayor?
Yeah, I sent her a message.
Okay, thank you.
Well, while we're waiting on the mayor, we could have the vice mayor just continue with the meeting.
No, you can't be.
Where's the vice mayor?
Vice mayor.
She's not here.
Vice mayor's not there. Okay. Well, I guess we're waiting on the mayor then. Where's the vice mayor?
Not here.
He's probably out of town.
Yeah, not here. That's all I know.
Seems like everybody's going out of town this week.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The mayor's trying to get in. She said she got kicked out. She's trying to connect. So that's the text message she left me.
Well, maybe just in hopes of kind of keeping things moving along, I would ask if there's any questions about the resolutions tonight.
Oh, make it happen.
I have a question. I guess the words constructing a road. So is it going to be a road once this is done, or because we typically, I mean, I know it's I don't know, did we ever do anything to see that it's a paper street or what? So I'm confused about that.
Madam Mitchell, would you please explain what you're talking about?
The first
I think she's referring to the
yeah, go ahead, Deepak.
Yeah, I think she's talking about R9, the resolution to appropriate the property.
Oh, okay.
So one of the things that we initially looked at was, is there an easement, right? So we were all
Right.
thinking that, when that property was given to Princeton back in the day, that there would be an easement that would have been reserved for Lincoln Heights residents and, the government and its representatives to access Memorial Field. So we had a title examination done by perhaps the best title attorney in the city, named Bob Hines. And there is no easement that was reserved of record. There may have been discussions about it, back when this happened. There may have been an intention to do it. But as you know, when it comes to property, if you don't actually record a document, it's non-existent.
Mhm.
So there was no easement. So then the next thought was, well, geez, if you look at Lindy there's a little stub off of Lindy across from the old schools. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like a little stub street.
Off
Let me rephrase that. There's a little vacant piece of land that's a stub. And that's basically the other side of, not Lindy. What am I thinking about? What's the street above Lindy?
You talking about Leggett? Or
Yeah, whatever the
Douglas?
street is,
McGee?
whatever the street is,
Yeah.
the street is above
Adams.
Lindy, which is on the backside of Memorial Field.
Adams.
We were hoping that.
No, are you talking about McGee? Because that's what I said, like the paper street. So you have McGee that really runs all the way up, and that one little piece before you get to Jackson was McGee.
Well,
Yeah, and so that's.
I had to
Hey,
go.
Mayor,
to
I was
another
just kind of
direction.
talking to everybody about 21R9 and kind of walking them through the different things we looked at. So the first thing we looked at was there an easement? And I was explaining to everybody that unfortunately there was not a recorded easement. Then the next thing we looked at was to see if there was a paper street that we could use. And unfortunately, there was no paper street that we could use either. So then we come to where we're at now, which is, okay, we need to have a right of way to access Memorial Field, which is, a public park basically. And so the R9 is the piece of the process that we're at now. And one of the things that you can see if you look, for example, at Exhibit A is the sketch plan for it. Exhibit C is the kind of overall view showing the larger parcel and then the take area. But what they're going to be doing is they are going to be constructing a road that's approximately 50 feet wide coming off of Lindy and going all the way up to the traditional entrance to Memorial Field. Does that answer your question, Ms. Mitchell?
So when you say constructing a road, so that means that there will be no parking there?
Not
Once
within the
we get
50.
it?
Not within the 50 feet. So that's going to be the actual, well, I guess I should say that 50 feet is what we're acquiring, and then how much ever they need for the roadway. So that could be anything from 20 feet wide to however wide they want to make it. And if they need to provide, what are those things called? Emergency lanes or things of that nature, they can certainly do that as well. But the overall take is that entire 50-foot wide process, or that 50-foot wide parcel.
Okay, so based on the sketch there, it does show, I mean, if that's going to be the road, like it will take away the steps and the parking that would be to the east of that. Okay.
All right. Any other questions about 21R9 or 21R10?
I have a question because I don't understand the map on this page. It's labeled page 16, and it has red around it, and it has blue on it. A rectangle of blue, and then almost like a big rectangle of red. So what exactly is that surrounding? Is that the Y or the old high school?
No,
Are you talking about Exhibit C, Miss Baber?
it doesn't say C on it, but that's what she's referring to.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
this says page 16 on it.
Right,
And,
we don't have it labeled as such.
Okay. So there are one document's obviously a legal description. Then there are two other documents. One document is a drawing, and it's titled Sketch of the Take Area.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
And
what
then
I'm talking about.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what's your question about that, Miss Baber?
What exactly is it? Is the square round? Is that the Y, or is that the elementary school?
My understanding is what they're showing you is the entire parcel, which I think is roughly 3.6 acres. And then so that's the bigger square, if you want to call it that. And then the rectangle, which is the take area, is about 0.33. Is that right? 0.333 acres. So that's what the smaller rectangle is.
So I didn't understand when Ms. Mitchell asked the question about the parking. So there won't be any parking within that the blue rectangle area, which is the entrance, supposedly, I guess, the entrance up to Memorial Field.
I'm not sure what the final engineering is going to be on that. But in terms of the engineers that came out to do the survey and to plot out what was going to be necessary for the right of way, this is the 50 feet dimension, that they came up with.
Madam Mayor, may I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
That is correct, Mr. Desai, that 50 feet is what the take is. But the way that they are designing is that it will have access for emergency vehicles to come in, and one or two, and which you've already said, one or two like handicap parking at the interest of Memorial Field.
Yes, Ms. Mitchell. I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Baber. Ms. Baber still had a question. Go ahead, Ms. Baber, I'm sorry.
So basically, we don't know if there's going to be any parking there or not. And if this parking area will be open to the public.
Yes, Ms. Powdrell, you can answer that.
Councilwoman Baber, if you think about it, if an emergency vehicle, it's not a lot, but if an emergency vehicle or a fire truck or ambulance needs to get in, it has to have sufficient space to get in and back out. And in addition to that, part of the funding with CDBG dollars is ADA accessibility. So adding those spaces and handicap spaces meets that need, as well as creating ADA accessibility into the field.
Well, originally when we said that y'all wanted to do this, y'all was saying that it was so that the teams or whoever that was entering that area could also park as well. So now it's like a whole new story.
I don't recall that ever being saying that.
Oh, that's what was said originally.
Okay.
That people, that it was supposed to be an area so that people can park as well as enter into that field. Because that was the problem, supposedly.
Okay, I think Ms. Mitchell has a question. And then we'll
Well, I
come back.
just want to kind of clarify. So as I look at it, right, so the Robert Flower Civic Center where it stops, so there still would be parking back there. But my concern was if it was the road, and I understand, you know, the emergency vehicles and whatever. So there's still room because as an emergency vehicle comes up there, there's still parking next to the building, to the Robert Flower Civic Center or the old high school. But I was just wondering if we would have to remove the parking that is closer to the field, which is where we typically park, still will belong to Mr. Clark, where we typically will park close to the field on the right-hand side there. So that was parking. So, I mean, we may
No.
lose some parking.
Hold on, Ms. Baber. Ms. Powder wants to address what Ms. Mitchell's asking. Go ahead, Ms. Powder.
Okay.
You're on mute.
If Councilwoman Mitchell is finished asking her question.
Yeah, I was just saying that my concern was that we lost some parking up by near the park that would typically be handicapped. If you look to the right of the blue line, up near the red line, that used to be parking in there where that concrete is. So we lose that, which is not really a big thing, but we lose some parking. But even though we have the road for the emergency, I still see we still have the parking that is to the left of the blue line because that's ours anyway.
That is correct.
Okay, I was just concerned about that up there where typically you would have where the light squad has sat at times, has been to the outside of that blue line.
That space will still be available as parking. And I apologize, I left all of my paperwork in the office. I had it all together. So I'm going by memory. And it is correct, you will still have the space to the left of the blue line, inside of the blue line, up near the entrance of the field will be handicap parking available. So I would say anything inside the blue line is off limits for parking. If you think about it, if a truck is coming through, a fire truck or emergency vehicle is coming through, they're going to need that clearance in coming through. I'm getting feedback. So does that answer your question without
Ms. Key has Ms. Mitchell, she wanted to know if that answered your question because Ms. Key has a question after you.
I'm good.
Okay. This Councilwoman Key.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I didn't have a question. I just wanted to make a statement that it was my understanding that the reason we have to go this route is to fully gain access to Memorial Field, that our intent at this point of the juncture was not necessarily about full parking. So at this point, it is truly about gaining access. It's unfortunate that we have to go this route to do so, but this is where we are. So I just wanted to make that comment from my perspective. And I heard what Ms. Powdra said, and Ms. Mitchell, I understand your question as well about, is it a road? What is it? And thankfully we still have some space behind the YMCA building if we wanted to add additional parking spaces there. We're not saying that that's what we're doing, but for this legislation, our goal is to gain access to Memorial Field that we're getting ready to renovate. It is not necessarily fully indicative of what are going to be the parking aspects of that, gaining that access.
Councilwoman Charles Jeter, did you have anything?
I don't have anything that I really want to ask. I was just in agreement with Councilwoman Tanya Key. It seems that the effort here is to make sure that we can use that field to get into it, and then something else may be able to come along later. But at this point, we want an accessibility to field. So I'm happy. That's the reason why I'm making it happen.
Okay. All righty. Councilman Daniels, since I can't see you, I didn't know if you had any question or statement that you wanted to make before we move on. Okay, all right. Ms. Baber, was there any other, I wanted to circle back around to you. Was there anything else that you wanted to ask? Councilwoman Baber?
No, thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Okay. Had a little technical problem. I don't know what happened with my system. It just went out and I had to jump in the car and come down to the village. But we're gonna
I was
move
looking
on.
for you.
I know it kicked me out. I text Lisa to let her know I got kicked out and couldn't get back in. So I figured I'd just come on down to the village. So is there anything else regarding resolution 2021-R9? If not, then we're going to move on to resolution 2020-R10. Any questions regarding the, I know Mr. Sy may have went over it, establishing the salary ranges for the director and members of the Public Works Department. In the legislation, it does list in section 1, the positions and the salary ranges. Ms. Powdrell has sponsored the legislation. Is there any questions that you have for Ms. Powdrell, or Ms. Powdrell, is there anything that you wanted to elaborate on?
I think the only elaboration that I have is the address to your question that Councilwoman Mitchell provided late today, and it was a great question and this to add the code enforcer under the Department of Public Works. I think I explained that, the maximum salary as well as the hourly rate and the additional out-of-pocket if we are not able to get funding from CDBG. I'm open to any additional questions that people may have. Again, I don't have the documentation in front of me, but if Donna may have some financial questions, but I think she cleared all of those questions up while in the Finance Committee meeting.
Ms. Mitchell has a question.
Thank you. Everybody did get a copy of the email. You know, we copied everybody on my question to Ms. Powdrell. The $26,000 wasn't listed there, and then
Right.
I asked about it. So you all have a copy of that email.
Okay. All right. Is there any other additional questions for Ms. Powdrell regarding resolution 2021-R10? Okay. If not, then we're gonna go into, someone say something?
Mayor, I had a question.
Okay, yes, Ms. Councilwoman Baber.
For this code enforcer, the part-time, what's part-time hours?
Madam Mayor, may I speak?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
So there are a maximum of 2,080 hours a year for a full-time employee. 1,040 hours is part-time hours for a part-time employee.
I'm
You
thinking,
say 1,040 hours?
Correct. So that comes about to about 20 hours a week.
okay. Ms. Powdrell, I have a question. She may have wanted to also find out what are their particular hours of the day that they're going to be working. Is there any set time?
He is part-time. His hours are based upon what it takes to get the work done. So I'm flexible as he's part-time hours when he comes in the building, but he's generally there during the day when our normal work hours.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Powdrell? Okay, all right, if there's none, we'll go into miscellaneous business. Is there any miscellaneous business?
I have a question, Mayor. I guess it kind of pertains to the code enforcement or the Public Works Department. What is our target date to have people on staff to staff that department?
Yes, Ms. Powell, you may address.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We currently have, after this meeting tomorrow, we'll be posting it on all of the outlets that we need to post it on. Once that, I would like for once the Department of Public Works get on staff, that they choose their staff, that they build their staff. I'm expecting this to happen within the next 90 days to be fully staffed. I know there's some concern about the Diamond Jubilee, but I explained the last time what our backup plan would be for that.
Okay, I'm just concerned because if it rains one more time, and I know we have some contractors, but if it rains one more time, the weeds are going to be to about shoulder length. So I'm just concerned about how we are getting our properties taken care of in the interim.
Madam Mayor, may I?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
Thank you, Councilwoman Mitchell. I agree with you. I am just as concerned. Keep in mind, it took a while to find the contractors. We're working diligently. We as well are beholden to the weather and getting lots cut. So we've gotten 2 contractors. We've split the upper sub and the lower sub, and they're getting to them on a schedule.
Okay.
As quickly as
we just need to tackle Mangum at least, coming off that highway, either way, coming into the village, and we're talking about economic development and that is really a blight when you coming up and down Mangum.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I had concern about Mangum, and I did call ODOT. That property has not been vacated to us. So it's their responsibility to cut it, and they have cut it looks like. So I have called them regarding it. We've had several conversations about that.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Powder, but on Mangum where the guardrails are and it abuts the street, we've always cut that, and that has always been ours. Not that on the other side of the fence, but that's by the guardrail as you come up, that is next to the curb. We need to check to make sure that that's not ours, but we've always cut that part.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Councilwoman Mitchell. I will look into that. Again, I was not aware of that, but I will make sure I'll look into that and make sure to take care of that.
Thank you.
I have a question for Ms. Powell. Ms. Powell, when it comes to the ODOT, I do know what Chris Kaysen had informed us that we'll be able to get additional information as far as the acreage and the amount that's going to be allotted to the village after July. Have you received any additional information since this last conversation with us?
Madam Mayor, no, I have not. Okay.
All right. I'm curious to find out if that's going to be a hard date as far as July and us finding out the acreage that we're going to have, so we can begin to have discussions on what we would like to see with that, with what we're going to be allotted. I do know that they want to, whatever that's given, we're supposed to maintain it until we decide what we're going to do with it. That was a discussion that we had at the beginning of the construction of the I-75 expansion. So you may want to reach out to him and just see if there's a hard date, exact date, till we're going to know exactly how much. And but I know you'll follow up with us and let us know, preferably at the next council meeting or during one of the committee meetings as well. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Madam Mayor. Yes, I will follow up.
Okay. Is there any other miscellaneous business? All right. Okay, well, if there's no other discussion, is there a motion in order for adjournment of the committee of the whole?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay, ayes have it. It's now 7:18. I'll see you all in the next 13 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Charles, is that how you pronounce your name? You're on mute. I just need to get your last name. You're still on mute.
Name is Charles Wiley, W-I-L-E-Y.
W-I-L-E-Y.
Okay, it's off. Can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go. Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Give us a call at 844-751-5626 or visit us online today. Loan Depot, home purchase, home refinance, and the official mortgage provider.
Just let me know when you guys are ready, and I will drop my graphic.
Looking to see if everybody's here.
Okay.
Randolph, does it look like everybody's here? 1, 2.
I'm only seeing a strip. Let's see. Okay, great. Let's see.
Okay.
Yes, you have 6 who are present.
Okay, are we live, Matthew?
Yes, you are.
Okay. The Village of Lincoln Heights regular council meeting is now in session. Today's date is May 24th. The time is 7:32. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson. No response. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell, Councilwoman Mitchell, you're on mute.
Present.
Thank you. Councilman Durance Daniels.
Present.
All right, Mayor, we do have 6 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Motion to excuse Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
So
Second.
moved.
Oh, sorry, second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Thank you. Ms. Mitchell, could you bless us with a prayer, please?
Certainly, Mayor. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the mercy blessings that you have given us. Father, we come before you tonight, asking you to lead us, showing us everything that we need to do for the betterment of this village. Heavenly Father, we ask that you watch over Vice Mayor Stinson while she is away. Lord, we just ask you to also watch over the village, knowing that we all love the community. And Father, we thank you for the presence of Mr. Wiley. This we ask in your son's name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Motion in order to amend the agenda to remove resolution 2021 R9. The reason why is because due to there's additional questions that arrived in committee of the whole, we are going to ask, I'm going to suggest that we ask Ms. Powdrill to look into those additional questions that were asked regarding the parking and report back, and we'll take that resolution at the next council meeting.
Mayor, before we do that, was there already a motion to approve the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So move.
Is there a second to amend the agenda to remove resolution 2020 R9 until the next council meeting?
I second it.
Okay. It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. Motion in order for filing of the journal for the committee of the whole meeting minutes from May 10th, 2021, and regular council meeting minutes from May 10th, 2021.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Announcements. Councilman Daniels, any announcements for you?
No announcements at this time, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any announcements for you, Councilwoman Phyllis Baber?
No announcement, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter?
None that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Councilwoman Tanya Key?
Madam Mayor, just wanted to announce and recognize one of our businesses that received some exemplary, how would you call it, recognition. I believe it's called Terrace Tots on the daycare. She received a 5-star rating, just very difficult to receive as a daycare. One of our businesses in the village of Lincoln Heights. We want to say congratulations to that organization.
Congratulations, Tyra. Tots. I know a lot of children that use her services, and one of them was my grandkids. So thank you. Outstanding. She's also a recipient of the We Thrive Award as well. She was awarded that a couple of years ago. All righty. Okay. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell, any announcement from you?
Yes, ma'am. There will be a memorial service for Deacon Mobley, former mayor of Lincoln Heights, on June 26th. We have not determined the time yet, but a date has been set for June 26th at St. Simon's.
June 26th. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, if there's no, I don't have any announcements. There's no other announcements. Ms. Powdrill, is there any announcement for you?
No, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Okay, all right. All right, then that leaves our speaker. We want to welcome Mr. Charles Anthony Wiley, author of To God Be the Glory, We Must Never Give, and This Is My Story, Growing Up Black in America. All right, Mr. Wiley, so the floor is yours.
I'd like to thank you guys for allowing me to be on council with you guys on the council meeting, and also I commend you guys for what you do for Lincoln Heights, and just you're doing a great job. And trust me, we follow you and we love what you're doing. I know I do. And I'm just here to give you a little bit of information about my book, myself. Most of you know me, and know what I'm doing out here. You know, as always, I keep God first with whatever I do in life. I wrote my autobiography back in 2003. The name of it back then was "To God Be the Glory, We Must Never Give Up." Subtitle: 100 Reasons Why I Could Have Become Racist. And the reason why I wrote it, actually, I was motivated to write it because of things that I dealt with growing up. A lot of things in Lincoln Heights that I grew up dealing with. Black on black violence, seeing drugs around, and losing a lot of my friends that I grew up with, that I went to school with, that got caught on drugs and losing them, and then seeing our youth on the corners giving up. That was one of the things that motivated me to write this book. And I went through a lot of issues in my life, as far as I just said, black on black violence, systemic racism, police brutality. At one time, I was, going through problems in the workforce, systemic racism, which we're never, our parents try to teach us everything, how to be prepared out in the world, but a lot of things hit you that you're not prepared with. And one of the things that I was hit with was I was faced with systemic racism. Also, I was faced with police brutality and some other issues. If you guys read my book, you'll see them, a lot of different family issues that was going on. And I was at a point where I was like, wow, enough is enough. I was really ready to just stop and give up. Never had a father in my life. I had a lot of father figures in my life. I like to bring one up at the end of the meeting, but I had a lot of father figures, figures in my life, but never a real biological father to help me transition through the things that a young man goes through. So, I talked to a lot of our youth. I did, and Ms. Mitchell, I did a lot of different programs here in Cincinnati, Lincoln Heights, and I left Lincoln Heights back, I think, right out of high school when I started going to college. One of the reasons I felt the need to move because a lot of issues that I was getting into with my peers. And I truly believe if I'd never started anything, but trouble will always seem to come my way. I truly believe that if I would have not, at that point in time, I probably wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. So, I thank God for that, and I know He's directed my steps. So my book, our youth is out here on these corners, and I'm open to any suggestions anyone have, any ideas. I know Daniel's, I hope I said your name right. Daniel's, I know you're doing a lot out here with the youth also, and they really need us because I talk to them, and our youth are out here really just, they don't have any hope. They're giving up. We don't have anything out, especially in Lincoln Heights, anything going on, to help keep them off the street. And it's time. We need to figure something out for our kids and for our youth before things get worse. And they say before it get better, it get worse. But I'm here to tell you, talking to our youth, things are really, really bad, especially with the COVID going on and what's going on. The ones that are seem to be thriving and moving forward, they have a lot of depression going on. That's one of my topics I deal with, depression, suicidal thoughts. I coached girls select basketball for some years. I think I had about 4 girls from Lincoln Heights on my team, but one of my girls specific, she was 17. She was going through a lot of suicidal thoughts. She hung herself as a 17-year-old in a garage. We just lost one of our alumni. You guys know Greg Phillips. I used to be around Greg, never knew he was dealing with issues. Greg hung himself in the garage. He was just buried a couple of weeks ago. So, as me dealing with these issues, we have we just have a whole host of things that's going on. And that's why I commend you guys. That's why I commend you guys so much because, sorry about that. My wife just did that. She didn't know I was Ruby's laughing at you. Mr. President, Mayor's laughing at you. That was not me. So we have a lot of things going on. So my arms is open. And if you guys have any ideas or if you would like me to come and help you with anything, but I really really feel a strong need that we have to start reaching out to our youth more. I am in the process of creating some flyers that's dealing with the violence and the drugs, just pass out, with some information on it if they need to talk to someone, to have different, just different resources, different numbers on the back of it to just put in different youth hands. So, I don't want to get into a lot about myself. My heart is just right there with our youth and what's going on. And I like to show Ms. Laverne this. Ms. Laverne, this right here, I love this. This is a legacy award that you presented me with back in, when was that? Back in 2000. This sits on my desk. I love this. I just wanted you to know that. I'm very, very proud of that. I'm proud of you. So with that, one more thing I'd like to share with you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If it's something that you wanted me to directly cover, is a gentleman, one of our coaches, one of our former coaches, Paul Blackwell. A lot of his former players always talk about this, and Paul has been around Lincoln Heights forever, doing for Lincoln Heights. That's one of the Black men that I looked up to, because I can say if he wasn't a part of my life when I played football for him, I would have been out there on the streets with a lot of my other friends out on the street. You look at a lot of young men from David Killing to even Scooter Blackwell to Michael Carl to Derek Doobie Burkhart. But you look at a lot of young men, Mike Brodnex, that's very successful, a lot of guys that's getting conducted into Princeton Hall of Fame. They would not be in Princeton Hall of Fame if it was not for Paul Blackwell. So one of our goals is to present to council meeting, to council, and we would love to see his name somewhere, anywhere, even if it's on the corner, or we want to do something to just recognize Paul Blackwell while he's here, because all those guys that came through and became superstars, they include myself, we became superstars because of Paul Blackwell. And I have information on him if you guys want me to email it to you later, but I would love to for you to open the door for us to do something for him. I am working on a banquet for him also, and I would love for Lincoln Heights to be a part of it, the council. So with that, I hope I didn't take it in the wrong direction, but I don't want to, I just didn't want to get into too much of just talking about me. And I would not be here if it wasn't for the Most High, because I have a chapter in my book called 9 Lives, and God has placed things in my path to continue to move forward. And even when I wanted to give up, this is what I share with my youth, and not to be bragging or anything, but if I would have taken that step and gave up, I would have not, when you look at my bio, I would have not done any of those things in my bio. I would have not been able to reach out to our youth. I would have not been able to change lives. And I'm happy to say that my book is a 5-star, have a 5-star rating. We're one of the largest book clubs here in the United States. I have a 5-star rating with them. And as people are emailing me and telling me how this book is changing their life, how it's inspiring, how it's very inspiring, and how it's bringing hope. So if you have anyone that you feel need, they're going through things, get them my book. I have the Audible if they don't want to read. We also have CDs. So I don't want to take any more of your time, and I appreciate you. Any questions, feel free.
Anyone have any questions? Ms. Mitchell, Councilwoman Mitchell.
No, I don't have any questions. I just know that Mr. Wiley has been very involved, and I know that when he had the one organization, he recognized some students from the Princeton district, and his organization, the Black Positive Brothers, built the first concession stand that we had when I was the manager. And he is a recipient of, I believe, I want to say maybe the 2009 Lincoln Heights Legacy Award that was awarded to all of the writers who came from Lincoln Heights. So he's among the best. Stella Tucson, Nikki Giovanni, Greg Stallworth, Carolyn Smith. So Thank you, Charles.
And I thank you. And that's one thing. When I'm out of town, when I'm speaking out of town, wherever I'm at, I mention Lincoln Heights because I love Lincoln Heights. That's where my heart is with Lincoln Heights.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I too want to thank you for all the positive things that you're doing out there, and that I see what you're doing. So we have a lot to be proud of from the village of Lincoln Heights, and we need to cherish it. Thank you.
Yes, and I thank you guys. I just like to say I'm proud of y'all, and I'm glad you guys are just continuing to push forward with Lincoln Heights, because Lincoln Heights, we have a strong legacy and a lot of pride, going on in Lincoln Heights.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, Councilwoman Key.
I just wanted to say thank you, Mr. Wiley. I know growing up, I was right under your group of people who grew up, and we used to watch you guys. We wanted to be like you guys. So thank you for going in that direction that shows individuals that you can go on the right path. I know my cousin hung out with you a lot, Kim and Sherry and Alvin, all those guys. And so we appreciate you for coming back and being able to be a positive influence, because that's what we need more of. It's truly going to take a village to turn around. And I am grateful with the work that's being done with Counsel. And you've already mentioned the things that you saw being or you've seen happening. We are going to get back or surpass and become an even better community than we were before for our future. And so we thank you for coming back and being that good, positive influence for all of our residents. Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted clarification on Mr. Blackwell's name. His first name, is it Carl or Paul?
Paul.
Paul. Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Baber, did you have anything you wanted to say? Because I know you're on the phone. I want to give you the opportunity if you did want to say anything to Mr. Wiley.
I just want just to say thank you for coming and sharing with us. And if there's anything the recreation can do to help in your engagements that you want to do with Lincoln Heights, please let us know.
Okay, yes, I will do so. I'll get with you personally. I would like for you to be a part of this banquet that we're gonna do for Paul, and at the same time, I like to do a fundraiser for Lincoln Heights. I mean, we have to come together, figure out what you guys gonna do with it. But I like to do it and bring these guys that played for Paul together and just do something big for Paul and big for Lincoln Heights, and let's get it started.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Councilman Daniels, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Just lastly, I appreciate you, Mr. Wiley, especially as a Black man, and you bringing up, Black men mental awareness, and on that end, just alone, I just want to thank you. So, I second the sentiment that all these wonderful, like you said, councilwomen and leaders of the community have already said. But, just from one Black man to another, the fact that you in a brave way bring up mental health as a Black man, I appreciate that. So, thank you again, and I look forward to having conversations with you offline.
I thank you for that. And that was one of the hardest things that was for me to bring up, because one thing about our community, when we are dealing with mental health, when we're struggling, we do not like to talk about it. We get embarrassed talking about it. And, I have no problems talking about it, because that was the key of me really, really moving forward, is being able to, know that I was dealing with something, know it was some struggles and some things that was pulling me down. And that's what our society does. Our kids out here, they may be dealing with issues with the police. They may be dealing with job issues. They may be dealing with street issues. And you put all that stuff together, you have a lot of issues that you're dealing with, and you have to know how to overcome those. So I have no problem talking about it.
Mr. Wiley, I want to thank you. We grew up together, and I've watched you grow and and mature, which we all have. But I want to thank you for all that you have done for the Village of Lincoln Heights. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to you to participate. We have a lot coming up. We have our 75th of being incorporated. And so we would like to see you come and give us some of the knowledge when we do have our festival that's coming up, along with the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. So I'm going to be reaching out to you and use some of those ideas that you brought up to see how we can partner with you to bring that mental health awareness, because it is real. It is real in a lot of our families when it comes to Black men and women. And that's one of the things that I always have no problem voting for when it comes to the mental health of our communities. So thank you so much. And is there anything else that you wanted to say before you leave?
That's it. And just spread the word about my book. It's on Amazon.com, Audibles, paperback, spread the word. And, you know, I use the funds for this to just keep doing what I'm doing. And I love it, you know, and you guys enjoy it if you read it.
We will. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Talking to you soon.
Appreciate y'all. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Ms. Randolph, next we have hearing from the residents. If we had anyone that wanted to speak or leave anything that they wanted to announce.
No one, Mayor, has left word for me.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, then we're gonna go into the regular agenda. Communications to council from the Clerk of Council, Lisa Randolph.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to inform council that the Planning Commission had a meeting on April 28th, and they met with the Heights Movement to further discuss the Innovation Hub. At that meeting, there was discussion of the Heights Movement providing more information, which they did. I got it today, the 24th. As well as the mayor briefly touching on the public notice and public hearing if the innovation process gets to that stage. But that was just basically what the meeting was about on April 28th. At that time, we did not have a date given for a future Planning Commission meeting. We were waiting to receive the information from the Heights Movement. So I will pass on that information to the Planning Commission, and then a date will be determined. And once that's done, I will notify council of that date. And that's my report.
Is there any questions for the Clerk of Council? All right, thank you, Ms. Randolph, for that report. All right, communications from the mayor regarding mayor's reports. Lincoln Heights Mayor Court monthly report for the month of April 2021. Total to the state, $748.90. Total area fines to external agencies, 0. Total to other entities, including restitution, $27. Total bonds forfeited to the village, 0. Total to the village, including miscellaneous receipts, adjustments, and BA fees, $4,669. Total to be dispersed, $5,444.90. Is there any questions regarding the total dispersed for Mayor's Court for the month of April? Any questions? If there's no questions, is there a motion to accept the report?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? No nays. All right. Next will be communications from the village manager, Joyce Powdrill.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I apologize. I said earlier, I am operating off of my cell phone. So you all should have had a report, manager's report in your mailbox or emailed to you today. I'm going to tried to do my best to use my phone and go through my report. Again, each report I give you, I kind of break it up into the top priorities that we agreed to early on, which is economic development, stakeholder relationships, safety, village operations, village infrastructure, and how do we speak and brand the village of Lincoln Heights.
Excuse me, Ms. Powdrell and Mayor, is there a way that you can share the document? It wasn't in our mailbox, and is there a way you can share it?
I can't share the
Not
document.
you, yeah, but I meant the mayor. I didn't know if she had it.
Let me see.
I do have it. I'm willing to share.
Got it. Okay.
Let me see
It
if I
has. I was disabled. Screening share.
Thank you. That works better. Now
All
let's.
right. Thank you, Ms. Key.
All right, you're welcome. Give me a minute so I can pull it up. Mr. Hodges is giving me, okay, there we go. Got it. Give me a minute.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have you kind of scroll with me. I'll tell you to scroll up.
Okay.
The first part is basically just explaining what I just said. What will be helpful for you, Councilwoman Key, is that most of everything is highlighted in yellow, what I want to touch on.
Okay.
So under economic development in the Memorial Field, to this date, I did receive a conversation from a phone conversation with Cincinnati Reds. We are going to have a second interview. I'm working on when we get the second interview, what was said to me is that we need an inside activity that Cincinnati Reds would bring a team together to invest in. I've spoken with the vice mayor, and she's introduced me to two daycare centers that could potentially be an opportunity where some inside activity could happen, as well as with the Lincoln Heights Elementary. Let's see. So as I reported out previously, we declined our request to assist the village with marketing and branding. We've gotten another corporation to help support us on the marketing and branding. The Wi-Fi was submitted. We requested $150,000, and we should be receiving notice. Sorry, I should have put the timeline down there when we should be hearing back, but I will definitely be sharing with you. We also submitted the $8,500 consulting grant to help update the status on our street in the village and prioritize what needs to be done on over a 5-year period, as well as look at on a 20-year period, just so that we can begin to plan how we fund the work of repairing the roads in the village over the next 20 years. The code enforcer has prepared door knockers that will go out, that he will take out and put on the doors and kind of do the introducing himself, as well as giving the residents some helpful hints around keeping their properties up. We'll be kicking off the mini planning grant. We will begin our meetings on the first Wednesday of the month, and we will begin on June 2nd. This will be approximately a 6-month process where we will do the land use study on this. Bill Street property, we have the environmental evaluation is complete on that property. They have recommended that a licensed asbestos evaluation specialist be present during the demo. And the demo, because of the timing, it will have to be bid out again. So that will be done. Process. So again, we applied for the $150,000 for free public Wi-Fi, and it's been submitted. We're all good there. Under safety, Department of Public Works, as I said before, a draft job description been developed and will be posted. This came up on the Woodlawn Fire Department. I have not had a chance to delve deeper into this conversation. I know it's come up previously and it's come up in the past week within the office. So there needs to be a discussion around the Woodlawn Fire Department contract. So I would like to have a response for you on that 5% price increase on the next time we meet council as a whole, or prior to maybe in the safety meeting as well, updated at the safety meeting. The Transit Infrastructure Fund program, which is funded through issue 7, where in the county, roads can be improved. I've spoken to CT consultants, presented 3 options. Of those 3, it could be a combination or it could be one or the other. But I think the biggest, or the one that has the greatest chance of winning is taking Leggett and Wabash, because you already have OPWC funding, and that's a 50-50 grant and 50 loan. We could pursue the $367,000 with SORTA under the Transit Infrastructure Fund program. So that is secure. She looked at Bills and Simmons. Both projects are projected to be over $1 million to get improved. So we are still having a discussion, CT consultants and myself, around what's the best strategy to pursue in getting funding for these roads. I think everybody knows that American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. As of this date, and I haven't followed up with Donna, we have not received our our portion of the American Rescue Plan Act funds. We're still waiting on the proposal from Laura Roth. I think I will get with Councilwoman Baber and move this forward. She hasn't been quite responsive, and I have done some work already in this, so I will share that with Councilwoman Baber in terms of beautification in the Flower Pot project. The new fence is currently being installed. We did a scan of the building. I do have a proposal from Moody Nolan regarding renovating the building. I have not been able to respond back to Moody Nolan, so I'm still working on how they would like to work with the village with the scan. The administration is evaluating the lot cleanup project. So you'll hear back from us on that. And then finally, you'll see the list here of community stakeholder relationships and that we are moving forward with the Village of Lincoln Heights. Any questions?
Yes, Councilwoman Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am. I guess one of the first things I'd like to know, Ms. Powder, so when we talk about CT, are they on a retainer or is there a fee for each time they do a project? How do we work that?
My understanding is that when they submit an application for us, there's a fee that's associated with that. In terms of their contract has not been evaluated in my understanding lately. So what I have been doing is getting proposals from them based upon what the work I ask to be done, the scope of work that I'm asking to be done.
So Mayor, I have a couple of questions. You want me to ask them or come back around to me?
Come back around to you. Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have one question, and that is, it looks like based on the cost of the street repair for both Simmons and Bills, I believe it was, with the proposal that you were putting out there. If those streets are not awarded, is it possible then to have them put on a plan when we get our Public Works Department to go and perhaps fill those potholes, the major potholes, at least give it some attention, even if we don't have the funds to give it the full attention?
Yes, Councilwoman Key. We have been seeking out an individual to go around the village and fill the potholes in the village. So we're in discussions with a potential contractor to do that in the village, but yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Councilwoman Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Powder, have we, in looking over the description, the job description, I found that there is a duplication in it for the amount of time for the maintenance, for the experience for the Public Works Director. So if you would just take another look at that section, I think there's something that probably needs to be clarified on that. And
Yep.
I can call you tomorrow and give it to you exactly. But with Taylor Court, or Taylor, it's not court because it's not cul-de-sac. So is the improvements going to expand the road? Because it's very difficult for two-way traffic because people park on that side. Is that going to be expanded, or is it just going to be repaved?
My understanding that it's going to be repaved, but I can get specifics for you, Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
and follow up.
Yes. I would appreciate it if there is, you know, an amendment to that, because if you drive through there, it is just very difficult because cars are always parked there. So I would appreciate that.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to ask Councilwoman Mitchell, that is a good conversation that we can bring to economic development with Derek Ballman coming to do the presentation about complete streets. It's interesting that you say that, because the conversations around whether you widen a street or whether you widen the walkable area of a street. So it's an interesting conversation. So maybe we can talk about that more. I'm not saying what you asked for is unfeasible, but I'm just saying, just thinking about maybe how we can rethink our roads and making it pedestrian friendly. Maybe we look at parking, maybe we'll be looking at a lot of things. So I definitely like to continue that conversation more in economic development.
Put Chicago on your list. Just because of the bus.
Yes, I think we're gonna start digging into a lot more of it, you know, looking at those transit routes and where the students walk, where they play. You know, we have some residents who are in motorized wheelchairs, you know, how do they safely get around? So there's a lot of conversations that can be had. And I think it'll be an interesting topic. I think it'll also be something that the residents can really get involved in and really kind of wrap their conversations around it as well. So I'm looking forward to start having those discussions.
Okay. Right. Is there any other questions for Ms. Powdrill?
I do, but Ms. Powell, hopefully we can meet sometime tomorrow and we can go over the other questions that I have.
I will have to check my calendar, but I'll definitely follow up with you in the morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, is there a motion then, if there's no anything else, is there a motion to accept the report from the village manager?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor to accept the communication report from the village manager, Paltrow?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Any nays? All right. Okay, we're gonna go straight into the committee reports. And the first one is, I thought that Ms. Childs Jeter had already given hers, but I do remember that we had pushed it back to this meeting. So Ms. Childs, Councilwoman Childs Jeter, is there a standing committee report from you this?
Yes, it is. I have not sent it to you, but it's been ready since the last meeting. And I will send that to the clerk of court, Ms. Lisa Randolph, to send it to everyone. We did meet virtually on Monday, April the 19th at 5:36 p.m. Present were all committee members. In addition, Councilwoman Tanya Key, Councilman Durance Daniels, Village Manager Joyce Powell, Assistant Village Manager Donna Pope, Chief Amos, Woodline Fire Department, Lieutenant Jeremy DePotley, and Major Jackie Reed from the Hamilton County Sheriff Department. Chief Amos reported on the number of fire responses and EMS responses for February and March of 2021. The fire department updated the committee on what they're doing with community risk reduction, community paramedic and medicine, Touch Every Door campaign. The door hangers will be put on every door in both the Village of Lincoln Heights and Village of Woodline that will provide the citizens with information and services being offered, such as CPR, kids and adult bike helmet, free cribs for mothers, and other things. The hydrants will be serviced throughout the village in May. I thank the paramedic Bailey Stanford and Dan Goforth, who helped to deliver a baby in March. So a monthly report from Lieutenant DePotley, Sheriff Department, there has been a reduction of violent crimes during the month of March. Noteworthy incident, March the 16th, traffic stop on Chamberlain Drive. Numerous narcotics were found in the vehicle after the subject vacated the vehicle and went into a home, but later emerged back outside and was arrested. The subject was taken to Hamilton County Jail, Justice Department. For the month of March 2021, there were 16 criminal reports compared to 20 reports in February. Majority of the crimes that dealt with theft and not violent personal crime. Suspects arrested in March, only one lived in Lincoln Heights, and the others were from Roseline Bond Hill. I will emphasize only one, and we're gonna reduce that number to 0. There were 13 calls from the same person regarding shots fired during the day. The complaint was reviewed and found to be coming from, guess where? The Cincinnati gun range in Evendale. Community engagement, domestic violence enhancement response team is currently active in Lincoln Heights and is providing resources and social services for domestic violence victims. This program runs in conjunction with Women Helping Women. So you can get additional information on the website. Sheriff Department have participated in some outdoor community events. After all, we do have additional people out here because of the COP grants. Deputy Brandy Terry and Deputy Andrew Chapman attended the Easter Bag Drive-Through at Spirit of Christ Church on April the 3rd and the Sweep the Streets on April the 7th at Oak Park Apartment. They will also participate in watch groups, church events, community cleanup, bake sales, and movie nights in the park. I haven't seen a bake sale in quite a while, so that may be good for the community. An opportunity to get to know each other over cupcakes. Patrolman Justin Schaefer, Josh Turner, and Zach Cowell, who spent time playing basketball games with the residents. So again, this is a community engagement group of cops, young cops out in our community. No, if the basketball court is locked up, the sheriff department have a key. You can contact the sheriff, knock on the door, ask for them to unlock the gate to play basketball during daylight time only. Do not knock on the door at midnight expecting to play basketball out there. National Drug Take Back Day on Saturday, April 25th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. for prescription medications. Residents may call the Hamilton County Sheriff Patrol Headquarters at 513-825-1500, then click option 0 to request being listed on a vacation watch list. In other words, if you're on the list, they will drive around to make sure that your house is okay. Sheriff Charmaine McGuffey and Major Jackie Reed from the Hamilton County Sheriff Department are participating in meetings regarding moving the gun range, yay, from the current area. The Sheriff Department is hiring correction officers for an academy to begin in September, and we need to make sure that this is on our website. Pay starts at $19.50 an hour and opportunity for overtime. Again, visit the website for additional information concerning that, and all of us can pass the word on to the young folks out here. And if any of you want to change your position on council, you can also apply for it. Of course, there should be an age limit. Okay, Lieutenant Jeremy DePoli thanked Ms. Hazel for the food that was prepared for the Sheriff's Department on April the 9th. It was well appreciated. For any of this information, you can get the Sheriff report or the Fire Department report, or simply check with these wonderful notes that the Clerk of Council, Ms. Lisa Randolph, has provided for us. That is my report, but I do have something additional to say. Okay, what I want the public to know is that there has been some money set aside to help to move the gun range. It is just a proposal at this time. It is not real until they have voted on it. I saw it on the Facebook, and everybody was excited. We got $5 million. They have to vote on it. It is in their proposal to do that. So they are working. The three commissioners are working hard to make sure that that is to get the gun range from our back door. So we won't experience all those gunshots going off, and we feel like we're in a war zone. Also, there are some council members in Cincinnati that also working with it. So we have people that are ready for this to happen, and hopefully this is the right time. So I want to thank everyone who has put the word out there about this gun range and it needs to go. Mayor, for your great effort. Mr. DeRoss Daniels for your push with their group. If we all work together, we can make this thing happen. It's been going on for X amount of years. I say X because it goes back a long way to when Ms. Mitchell was mayor. So thank you all. That is my report.
I did have some other information on that, but I can give it later after everyone gives their report. I got a call earlier today, but I'll let everybody know at the end.
Okay.
Okay. So is there a motion to accept the safety report from Councilwoman Charles Jeter?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Faber. It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, ayes have it. All right, next will be our Finance Standing Committee report by Chair Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. You all have this, I did send it to your email and put a copy in your mailboxes. This is the report from March. All right, it gets confusing. We didn't have the report for the second meeting of this month. Okay, so when we do the report, we are actually, when I give this report, we're actually 2 months behind, but we're really 1 month behind in terms of the finances, okay? So our meeting was held April 19th. It was virtual. All members were present with Councilwoman Key excused for that meeting. Mayor Mumphrey was there, Councilwoman Baber, Finance Director Pope, and Manager Powdrill, and Tax Administrator Peterson. Our minutes for March 15th were approved, and again, this is for the March finance statement. The committee discussed the CDBG allocation, which was mentioned in the manager's report. We received $100,000, $50,000 for Memorial Park, $50,000 for street improvement. We were informed that the total funding for the Memorial Park now is approximately $380,000. We received $14,000 from our finding for recovery from Ms. Hopkins, which was in arrears. And this repayment still remains delinquent. And there's approximately $39,000 still owed. The Lincoln Heights State Committee is focusing on sponsorships, and the 2022 tax budget preparation presentation was given so that we fully understood what the tax budget was about, and it was a great presentation. The public hearing is on June 28th, and at the next finance meeting, we will have another review of the tax budget. So the actual finance statement, our March cash balance beginning was $1,620,080.23. Our month-to-date revenue for March was $98,570.01. This was a 32% decrease from 2020. At that time, this time, we did not receive several revenue streams that we normally will get in March. We did not get them this year. That total of $98,000 includes tax collections of about $58,000. Our month-to-date expenses for the month of March was $274,142.87, and that was a 40% increase from 2020. This year, at this time, the sheriff was late with the invoices. So when we send things out, so we have to make sure, Manager Powell, that we speak with the sheriff department about their invoices so we can keep our stream looking good. Otherwise, it looks bad, in my opinion. So our March ending bank balance was $1,483,842.34. Our March 31st reconciled bank balance was $1,289,515.47. And that includes the outstanding checks we have of approximately $195,000. The action items, the finance director will provide additional information on infrastructure levy. The meter system for the gas usage is to be discussed. Mayor Mumphrey will have the OML newsletter sent to all council members. That, well, I must say that the committee recommended that council accept the March 2021 financial statement. That is my report.
Any questions for Ms. Mitchell? If there's no question, is there a motion to accept the finance report for the month of March?
Madam Mayor, I move to accept the financial report for the month of March.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, any nays? All right, thank you, Ms. Mitchell, for that report.
You're welcome and thank you.
Next will be our Law Standing Committee report by Chair Councilman Durance Daniels.
So the law committee was held on Monday, May 3rd, 5:30. The committee members present were myself, co-chair Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell, and Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson. Other present, Village Manager Joyce Powdrill, Councilwoman Linda Chavez Jeter, as well as Mayor Mackenzie Mumphrey. Our old business that we went over, we finally, I know we were talking about grass cutting for a little bit, we kind of got into the details. So if you ever want to look it up, it's in section 93.14 of our charter. Length of grass is 10 inches. Sorry about that. Apparently something is happening in the NBA. Section 93.14, sorry, I should have put my phone on silent. Section 93.14 of the charter is where it's at, length of grass over 10 inches. So, you know, I know from both on our end, from a resident standpoint, let's try to keep it under 10 inches. List of steps to take one side for failures of cutting grass. We discussed that. The agreement to fine or violators with a lien being on their real their property. If the violation, then a grass cutting contractor will cut the grass, their invoice will now be put on that tax lien. These are all things that we'll discuss. And then we also suggested that Mr. Williams, our code enforcer, also be notified of the agreement for any fine violators. So that's kind of that grass cutting thing. I know we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, but we finally had a chance to really get that outlined. So thank you, Councilwoman Mitchell. She also requested that the village law director, Deepak, has outlined the necessary steps for the violators who have been their cases cited to court. If it goes to the request, they would then, once again, we said, have that lien put on their property. Vice Mayor Stinson considered that the idea of the lien on the property is being a little bit harsh for not cutting the grass, especially if it involves seniors or the handicapped. But as we kind of also said within our meeting, that's not who we're really focusing on. Councilwoman Mitchell, once again, clarified our length. Law director Desai clarified the following: the language regarding the time to response is 7 days for the citation, how to add fines to the property tax via legislation, have language for extenuating circumstances, and Councilwoman Mitchell requests that the village manager Joyce Powdrill also contact the law director Desai regarding this matter. New business, there was a controlled fire discussion that was tabled until the next meeting, just to gather more information. And then just miscellaneous, Councilwoman Linda Chavez Jeter requested information on parking within the village of Lincoln Heights as it pertains to the side that is allowed to have parking. So Councilwoman Chavez Jeter emailed the village manager Joyce Powdrill regarding this matter, especially parking on both sides of Jackson Street. Her concern is emergency vehicles being able to travel along that street. So she also wanted to know if there was any signage visible regarding this issue. And then she also commented that the reminder should be sent out to the residents regarding parking, street parking throughout the village, but especially along Jackson Street. Councilwoman Mitchell commented that the sheriffs need to enforce our parking laws, and village manager Powdrill said she will follow up with Councilwoman Linda Chavez Jeter once village manager has met with the sheriff's department to address the issue and come up with parking strategies. That is our report. No next steps, no suggestions, and that is our law committee report. Any questions? Well, I guess that's on you, the mayor, to ask for any questions. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. You was on the roll. Very good report. Councilwoman Chavez Jeter.
Yes, I want to say, Mr. Daniels, I did ask for that to be looked into because it was a congested area there and partying going on. However, I did drive down through there yesterday. It was still tight, and we need help. I did find a sign, and I can tell you where it's located. It's located across the street in the field from Scotty's, old Scotty's in there, and it's facing the street, and it says no parking. But I couldn't find any signs anywhere else to let you know if you can do that or not. So thank you for that.
Well, and I making one to that, Madam Mayor, if that's okay.
Yes. Mhm.
I would like to just amend, and I'll amend it in my report, just on action steps, just on that, Ms. Linda Childs Jeter. If we need to also look into just the spacing of the signs at our next meeting. So I know that's also a safety thing as well, but we can discuss that in our law committee meeting, just as well as the overall spacing. Because I had to depart from the law meeting. I missed that piece, but I think that is something we can discuss. There's only one there.
But the law, it is the law committee because you do the law.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we take a look at it and make sure that Ms. Powell and gets it done. So we work together.
Yes, ma'am.
But something definitely needs to happen, and a whole bunch of stuff needs to happen as I drive up and down Lincoln Heights. I think it's getting worse. We have new couches out. A little bit of everything's going on.
Well, thank you. That's my report. And yes, ma'am, we'll talk offline.
Yeah. Oh no, we'll talk in your meeting. It's fine.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In the meeting as well. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions for Councilman Daniels? Any more? Okay. If there's no questions, is there a motion to accept the law committee report?
So move.
Been moved in second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any nays? Ayes have it. Okay. Let's see. Next will be the Economic Development Standing Committee report by Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would ask council's indulgence to please excuse me for not having my report this week. I will have both reports at our next council meeting.
Okay.
A lot of personal and family things going on that I've been navigating through, but there's still no full excuse, but I ask your acceptance of my apologies.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Councilwoman Key. Okay. All right. That ends the remaining of the committee reports. Is there any old business? No old business? Okay. All right. And then we'll drop down to new business. Is there a motion in order for resolution number 2021 R10, resolution establishing a salary ranges for the director and members of the Public Works Department? What's your pleasure, council?
Motion to read by title only.
Is there a
Second. Second.
Okay, there's a motion to read by title only of resolution number 2020 R10. It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
I'm sorry, I thought I was muted. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Must be watching the NBA.
No, my computer keeps freezing. No, my computer keeps freezing. So that's why I turned my camera off. So, but the only reason I know you said my name because you said NBA. That's all I heard. NBA. But assuming that we're still on just title only, I'm assuming, then my vote is yes. But I'm sorry, mine keeps freezing in and out. So
Thank you. Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2021-R-10. Resolution establishing salary ranges for the director and members of the Public Works Department.
Is there any questions? Any question?
I have a question.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So are we going to do the first reading and allow Ms. Powell to check out the description?
That was
Number 9. I thought it was number 1.
That was, no, we're doing 10. We had decided on the amendment that we wasn't gonna, she was gonna be looking into 2020 R9. No one mentioned recording, but she can do that. You were needing her to look as far as the description of those, of the employment. This is the one that we're talking about, establishing the salary ranges.
Mary, you talking to me?
Yeah, you asked the question about,
Yeah, aren't we, we're voting on 10, right?
yes.
Yeah, so I'm saying there was, we're talking about, we just talking about the whole department or just the salaries?
The salaries. This is the
Okay.
one that it has the salaries listed into the legislation.
Okay.
Am I missing something?
No. So
No,
yeah, this
it's
is
just- I
establishing a salary range for the director and for the other members of the department.
Yeah.
And the purpose of doing that is to allow Ms. Powdrell to move forward with advertising for the positions and conducting interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And then once she identifies a qualified candidate, she'll come back to set the specific compensation. But she can't advertise and promote the position until she knows that she has authority to pay them something between this amount and this amount.
So my concern was just when we advertise the position and then you say what the qualifications are. That's a piece in there that needs to be cleared up.
There's nothing in this legislation doesn't deal with that at all. This
Right,
is just
that's
merely
what I was
the
asking.
monetary piece.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can still have your conversation with her tomorrow or whenever you guys have schedules that coincide and clear up the duplication that you had mentioned in the description. But this piece of it is completely just the compensation range so that she can be moved forward with getting that department established.
Okay, so but we've already voted on the creation of the department, correct?
Correct. This is on the salary ranges so that she can advertise. Yep. Okay.
Right. I'm just trying to just be clear that, so when she and I talk, if there is an amendment that have to be done, we'd have to just amend the previous legislation, right? The previous.
Well, the
one,
previous legislation, or if there's a problem with Chapter 52 of the Code of Ordinances, then we would amend the legislation. But if you're referring to the PDF that she had sent out, kind of explaining different things, then that would not require legislation. That's just something that can be handled administratively.
Okay. Okay. I'll discuss it with
The reason I say that is when we put together the legislation to establish the department, it was pretty sparse, or maybe a better word to use is it's pretty general. It just said, generally speaking, here's what the Public Works Department will do. So it wasn't nearly as specific as the detail that Ms. Powdrell had provided in her PDF, explaining all those things. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Motion notice to suspend the rules of resolution 2020 R10.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second.
It's been moved in second to receive for passage of resolution 2020 R10. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion passed.
Motion to adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
It's been moved in second to adopt the emergency clause of resolution 2021 R10. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Deron Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 6 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Okay, miscellaneous business. Any miscellaneous business?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question probably to Ms. Powdrill
Mhm.
or to people who've been on council before. What do we do when a business transfers or change names? Do we get this information? And I say that because Scott's changed their restaurant and someone was looking for it and they thought I knew where it was. So all I could do was tell them to go up on the next corner. When I ran into somebody else, they said, no, they actually moved. And she looked at the address, only to find out that they are at Yellow's now. So did they let us know that they were moving or process? I don't know the process for these things. I know the restaurants pop up and if someone asks me, I can tell them where to go.
I know I had a conversation. I didn't know if Ms. Powdrill wanted to answer that, but I know I had a conversation with Ms. Pope today, and she did inform me that they did go to the tax administrator. Ms. Powdrill, I didn't know if you had talked with Ms. Peterson, but that was the question that I asked earlier today.
No, I have not.
Okay. Ms. Pope?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it was a couple weeks ago, he was talking to Ms. Peterson and he told her that she was moving. Now, under those circumstances, the move is okay, but they should be filing permits with Hamilton County Planning. And we did get on their list where they're gonna send us updates on all the permits issued in the village of Lincoln Heights. So I can check that list and see what permits were issued and when.
Okay. I just want to know, what is the process? Do you have to go through anything and let us know that they are in the community or they have moved or changed names? So that when someone asks, I will have a answer to the question. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Councilwoman Mitchell.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to mention an opportunity that I think that I'd like to have Ms. Powdrill look into, since we are going to be going back into the building, and we have always been doing court. And I know that we used our CARES money to sanitize the building, which oftentimes leaves residue. So there is a product out there called a company called Valero, and they have an air system. I would like for us to at least explore that, because now that we'll start having more people coming in, perhaps that is something we may want to look into. So if you would look into that and then let us know if that is something worthwhile.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Regarding miscellaneous business, I did have a couple of things I wanted to give council. I didn't do it as an announcement. And one of them has to do with the mobile pop-ups that the health department is going to do. I was in contact with Mary Ellen Knable, and she's with the Health Department and also previously our We Thrive representative. And so they're going to be partnering with the village in the months to come to do vaccine sites. And basically they're looking at potential sites within the village of Lincoln Heights to do pop-up sites, because the village of Lincoln Heights is one of the communities that there's not as many individuals that have taken the vaccine. So they're due to come and look at some sites tomorrow. And then I'll be giving you out additional information on that. Some of the sites that they're looking at to do some pop-up sites are at Tip Top Wings and Wendy's parking lot, Villas of the Valley, Mariana Terrace, White Cliff Apartments, Friendship Plaza, Park 75 Tech View, Lincoln Heights parking lot, and they're looking at doing some street corners within the village. I did inform the safety chair, which she would definitely be involved along with council, but she is the first one, along with Ms. Powdrill, that I did inform via email yesterday. When I got the call, we had met, and they're going to be coming Tuesday just to look and see, because we would like to see those numbers increase. They're trying to do basically an outreach information, and actually what's important, that there are going to be nurses on site. If there's individuals that choose not to do the vaccine, at least they will be there to ask any questions that they may want to ask. I know that the Healthcare Connection has been doing a marvelous job at getting our residents vaccinated, but our numbers are still low. And so they would like to help assist in getting the word out. I know they're going to be partnering with Woodlawn as well, but they did contact me and ask me to talk to them and come into the village. So they'll be reaching out. Ms. Powdrill will be here tomorrow when they come, and they're just going to drive around and see some sites that they would like. So the sites that they choose, they will reach out to those different sites. They're not just going to just pop up. So they will be calling all the sites that I mentioned to make sure that it's okay to be on the individual sites. Any questions regarding the vaccine sites? Yes, Councilwoman Charles Jeter.
When you talk to them, ask them how many people in the village of Lincoln Heights has actually had been vaxxed, just the numbers.
Okay. Yeah.
I did ask someone else that the other day. They didn't have the numbers. Want to separate the Lincoln Heights population out from all of zone 45215.
Mm-hmm.
It's important that we know if our people are getting vaccinated. If not, then we need to assist in getting the message out.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that was one of the questions I asked them, and they did not have it, but they are going to look into that so I can share some numbers with council at our next council.
Yeah, they should be
or
able to
probably give that to you in your safety meeting, whichever comes first.
Yeah, they need to segregate that out. They have a way of doing that, but also I'm going to ask the commissioners to make sure that happens. They meet every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm attending those meetings, and they are fascinating to me, very educational, something that I didn't know before that I'm gaining a lot of knowledge from, such as that $5 million thing and some other things that they're doing. They're pushing for broadband. So trying to get that here. So anyway, yes, we need to know if our people out here are getting vaccinated.
Yeah. Okay. So the other update I wanted to give council and our residents that are watching is regarding, like Ms. Charles Jeter has said, it regarding the Hamilton County Federal Pandemic Recovery Aid and the proposal. And so tomorrow, I did get a call from Commissioner Driehaus this afternoon to let me know that tomorrow they're going to have a series of 2 public hearings on the American Rescue Plan of 2021 and tomorrow, looks like the public hearing is going to be at 5:30 Tuesday. It's going to start at 5:45, and Thursday, May 27th at 1 o'clock is a public hearing. There is a link where you'll be able to go on their website and watch it. They have asked the mayors to testify or speak. That's what she has on here on the email, but they asked us to speak Tuesday or Thursday. I will be speaking Tuesday regarding the shooting range. And with that being said, I did want to let you all know that they are still having conversations regarding Colerain Township and the trustees regarding the shooting range expansion. They do have to have some public hearings with their residents as well. So they're still talking, but like we said, the $5 million is like an earmark that they are looking already decided on. And the commissioners, all three are in agreement. They just have to do the formality of the public hearing, and the vote will take place within the next 3 weeks regarding the monies. They have not got any, and that's from the county. So far, they have not received any money decisions from the city of Cincinnati so far, but they will be voting in 3 weeks. And I just wanted to share that with council and with the mayor, with the mayors that are watching and the residents. It's a excitement. I know it's a proposal, but it's earmarked already. So
yes.
Good things are coming. And when it does, boots on the ground and everything, all the efforts that everyone has helped. Councilman Daniels, hats off to you as well. We're looking forward to having a big celebration when it does happen. So that's all that I wanted to share.
Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
May I say something, please?
You sure can.
Okay. Before the meeting started tonight, Council of the Whole, I was talking about that Commissioner Reese is pushing for Black Hall of Fame. Has to do with the Isley brothers and Charles Foles and the other folks from out here. And she want to get that done. So it'd be nice if Lincoln Heights folks would come on board and say, yeah, we want this to happen, even though it's downtown pathway. Then our names again will be out there because we know the Isley brothers, well, some of us do, and others, Charles Foles. They're from, and people don't know anything about that they associated with Lincoln Heights. So there is a number, there's an email address. You can email and say, yes, I'd like for this to happen. That is your personal choice, but hopefully we will all get involved. And the Isley brothers are supposed to be coming to town sometime this summer. Not the Lincoln Heights, but they're gonna have a show.
Sometime in July.
In July, where is it going to be, Councilwoman Mitchell?
Well, I was told it was supposed to be around, I want to say July, that's the second week of July, but then I got a call back that it was kind of on hold, so.
Okay. Did they tell you the place? Maybe.
No, it would be downtown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be downtown, so. Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you, Miss Councilwoman Childs Jeter. Okay, is there any other miscellaneous? Oh, clap off. I'm in the office, and so it's a clap off light, so you have to hit it every so many minutes. Okay, is there any, next would be, is there executive session? That's next, what's on the agenda. Okay.
Are we making a motion here?
Yeah, that's what's next. We have executive session on there. I didn't know if there was a motion for it, or I done got kicked out again.
No, we see and
We can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at this. It keeps coming up Zoom United on this screen. Okay, I was getting nervous. That's what happened before when I got disconnected.
So, Mayor,
Mayor, I'm not aware of any executive session items.
But isn't it just on there, just like old business that we don't, isn't it just an
Yeah.
item on the agenda in case there is? Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Is this something we were supposed to do last time, or what is it that we didn't do?
The placeholder.
Yeah, but I thought last time they wanted to go into executive session. I don't know. Whatever you want to do it quickly, please.
Well, if there's not a motion for executive session, then what's next is a motion for adjournment.
Oh, so moved.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any nays? All right. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Call me, Mr. Daniels. Thank you.
Night.
Mayor, would you call me so I can find out about tomorrow, all the information?
Yes, we're gonna send you an email. I'm gonna have Miss Randolph send everyone an email regarding the public hearing.
Not that, the visit tomorrow. Just give me a call and give me that information that you gave out, please.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay.
ASAP, thank you.
ASAP.
Yeah, I got another meeting.